too.
Thank you. Well, welcome everyone welcome back to the Power Half Hour. We've been away for 5 weeks. We are now back, and I cannot be more excited to interview one of my very best friends in the business, our business partner, young guy, motivated guy, ambitious guy, just a rock star, Mr. Zak Kassam. How are you, sir? Thank you for being here.
Wow, thank you, John. No, pleasure to be on here, and yeah, happy to be on this. I know it was a couple of weeks that you took a break there, so pleasure to be on here, and happy to answer some questions.
Yeah, I think you would appeal to the young crowd, a younger crowd. I don't know if you consider millennial or Gen Z, Z in Canada, Z. But yeah, I want to know how you got started. How long in real estate now?
Okay. Yeah, no, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Zak Kassam, and I've been in real estate for the past 7 years. Of course, feels a lot longer once you've been in it for quite some time. So currently run a real estate team with now 4 agents, which is a newer thing. So excited about that. And it's with Kassam Associates. And, previous to that, I've worked other jobs. I was started off as a bank teller at, CIBC, gravitated towards at, the Canada Revenue Agency, worked in collections, audit. Nothing too exciting, I would say. You know what, I needed a change. And, I dabbled into multiple businesses and fully dove into real estate, and, haven't looked back since then. But in hindsight, it was quite the risk. And, glad to say that, fortunate enough to have been put in a position where, I can do so much and enjoy what I love to do, and just blessed to be in real estate and be amongst, yourself and other great leaders in the industry.
Amazing. I hope my name never came up in collections or audit. So thank you for that, letting me go. But, we really appreciate your energy. You're young, you're go-getter. Being young, like, is there some disadvantages? Like, because we always hear about this, like, millennial thing, like millennial, like it's negative. Gen Z, like they're lazy. What do you have to say to that?
Yeah, you know what? There may be that negative stigma or connotation out there. In the beginning, I might have, felt a little bit susceptible to that type of thinking. It's more perspective and mindset. If you go into it kind of thinking you're young, and when I first started, I did. It came across that way, and opposed to positioning myself as, what, I'm young, and that's actually advantageous. I have a lot of energy, in terms of knowledge, and of course, avid reader. Anything I can maybe lack in terms of knowledge, I can go out there and get that. But I wouldn't say you have a lot of energy, John. But there may be some people out there who might be a little bit older. They may have lost the passion, and I would say actually it's a little bit more advantageous to come in at a younger age with the, with technology nowadays, with so much out there in forms of marketing. There's so much, buying the bus benches and ads and old print. Any young person can come in and dominate a sector as long as they kind of niche down, and, they have the passion, drive. A lot of it comes down to a lot of the disciplines, and, how bad do they really want it, right? So you can use that to your advantage a lot of times. And I think in anything, it comes down to perspective. So if you want to say that it's a, disadvantage, it will. If you kind of utilize it more so as an advantage, you can play that to a little bit more of your, listing presentations, or anytime you get in front of a client. It's really how you conduct yourself and hold yourself. And I think the clients do see that.
Absolutely. And I can see a lot of passion in what you do. You're always waking up early and hanging out with top producers like Phil and John, Patricelli, and they're just an absolute legend. So you really surround yourself with a really good group. I want to talk about passion, because we as agents get burned out so easily in this business. And if you're not really passionate about what you do, you can get burned out easily. So how do you suggest young people or agents like yourself to really find out their true passion?
Yeah, no, great question. I think it really stems down to, like you kind of alluded to before, was what's your why? Why did you get in the business? I think for one, once you kind of figure that out, you can really structure your day based on activities that you enjoy, right? It's not always going to be fun times, but you can make those things fun. And, that's where you really tap into the discipline and mentality. I think in my first couple of years, I lacked that. And to be honest, the one thing I would say that I kind of struggled with in the beginning is what I really underestimated what it took to be successful. I think the perception of success at my first couple of years to getting to that level was a lot more involved than what I thought. So being around, like you mentioned, some of those top producers amongst yourself, I got to see what it really took to be at that level. And I think the passion kind of drove from seeing how far I can excel and, really push myself. Like, can I actually get to that level? I often like to allude to a lot of sports analogies, but, anyone that you look up to, they will embody those qualities. So I think it's more so just figuring out, what you want to do and really investing in it. And it may not be as fun in the beginning, but if you make it fun, you can really enjoy what you love. And you know what? Real estate is one of those careers that you got to make your own lifestyle and plan, right? You're not going to clock in certain times and it's kind of spontaneous, but if you can really put it to plan, and I know you're a huge advocate of, plan your work and work your plan. I don't need to tell you that. And so if you actually put it down to pen and paper and go through the systems and rhythm and get in a good routine and habit, and like I always say, be consistent, you can really enjoy it. Like I look forward to it in the beginning, and here's a story that, John knows quite well, is that, like you said, sometimes you can lose the passion and you can lose a lot of that momentum. And, when COVID hit and we've been doing 5 a.m. now, I mean, you've been doing it for probably 14, 15 years, myself 7, you can lose that. And, you can let external factors really get internally. So, once you're committed and make that solid commitment, you'll stick to it. So, we went on Zoom and started continuing at 5 a.m. And so it's having those right people around you who are also motivated and also love what they do and they've been in it for so long. I think it kind of derives from that, and being a little bit younger. I mean, I do have a lot of energy and I would like to keep it that way. And it comes from that, what are you putting into your mind? How important is it to be around the right people? And, really cultivating that and owning your environment, right? So it really stems from that, I would say.
Definitely. And you talk about passion and we talk about discipline. And you know what, when you get out there and you're motivated, you're young, then motivation can burn out. Motivation doesn't last. But what does last, what will make that last and make you achieve your goals is discipline.
Yeah.
And how have you been so disciplined all throughout these years?
Yeah, you know what? It's a combination of things. You know what? For me, when I did leave at my previous jobs, I did say that, what, I'm going to really own this time. And I would read a lot. I would research a lot. I actually would look up what the habits were of highly successful people. And, blessed enough, I got to speak to that on a big stage. And, I really embodied it. So I really took it on. And, I would look at it. There was the science behind it all. And, it stemmed from waking up early. I think if you can own your morning, you can own your day, and it gets you in the right trajectory. And, it puts you in a position to lead, right? So a lot of leaders will wake up early, and it tells yourself that you can lead. You get a good sense and control of your mind. It's very tempting to hit the snooze button. As in any industry or business, it's very tempting to not want to do the things that you are not wanting to at the time, but it's pushing through and building that, resilience and fortitude, and like a muscle, you'll get used to it, right? And then it becomes a little bit more easier, just like in real estate. The first few years, it can be so burdensome, and you have to wear multiple of hats. You can be the CEO one day, you can be in sales, you can be in marketing, you're the admin. So, it can get overwhelming. But once you kind of lay it all out, plan it out, enjoy the process, go through it daily, be around the right people, all these things in combination really get you to focus down on what you want and actually achieve those goals, right? So you're not just shooting aimlessly, you're actually having a plan and executing it, which is also most important, is taking those action steps, right? So I think it's the combination of it all.
Yeah, definitely. I think passion plus motivation plus accountability and discipline, can get you to whatever goals you've set. From what I've seen from you is that although you're young, see, when I started real estate when I was 26 years old, I never reached out to anybody. I never reached out to any mentors, any coaches until I hired one and I paid for one. And for you, I feel although you're young, you're so willing to reach out to someone who's 30, 40 years older than you and learn from them. I never had that, it was almost like audacious for me to go and reach out to Phil. I was always scared of Phil, but for you, it was just seemed so easy. And so what advice could you give to younger agents like yourself to be not afraid of reaching out to someone who's doing a lot more than you to learn from them?
Yeah, what, you'd actually be very surprised at how easy it is to reach out to those caliber people. I feel like they're always willing to help, and and a lot of the times, I had to meet them in tougher situations. So you gain a little bit of that respect too once you kind of show them that, look, it's not just I want to ask you a bunch of questions and be on my way. I happened to actually run into him a lot at 5 a.m. at the gym every day, and it was a consistent effort. And you build up from that. And it was a lot of, like you said, going to personal development seminars, getting some coaching, being around the right people. So it's just putting yourself in the position to be able to ask those questions, I would say, is important. And of course, if you don't take any risks or you don't reach out, you're going to be stuck in the same position, right? So I think it's just being able to ask and be okay with whatever the result is. But to your surprise, you'll probably notice that a lot of people are willing to help if you do reach out. And success leaves clues, whether you reach out directly or you kind of watch the habits or read about them. You can learn through so many different avenues. So I wouldn't let one thing stop you from getting there. I was always very inquisitive. I'd always question a lot of things. I'd always want to know why. Even with yourself, how we met, through Instagram, you were doing your talks as well. And I was fascinated that in my first couple of years, I mean, I would go to the gym 5:10, 5:15, and you were like right on the dot. And so it taught me accountability, structure, consistency. And I noticed that, if you want to produce at a high level, these are common traits that I noticed. And once you start doing that, you'll really get to see how far you can push yourself. And I believe that formulated a lot of the strength I had to go through and endure because I went through all of that. And, it carries forward. The first couple of years, it's tough, right? But like a muscle, it's going to keep growing. And so you can utilize it more efficiently and better. And then you can just tackle on the next topic, and it'll translate throughout your life and your business once you kind of take it full front on. So
I've seen you grow every single year now that we've been working together almost 3 years. It's just amazing to see how far you've come, and as a person and as a real estate agent. Tell me some of your struggles. You did say something about that in the first couple years as an agent who's 23, 24 years old, or were you 21? You were really young. What struggles did you come through?
I was 24 at the time, and it was just wanting more, right? So the struggle that I felt was, one, I didn't have the direct mentorship. I was kind of lost. Again, the reason that I wasn't too sure was I underestimated what it took. To be honest, I thought that I left at the CRA. I mean, this is probably not the same for everyone in real estate, but when I left, two people actually said they wanted to sell their house. I was like, oh, this is kind of a little bit easier. So I didn't get to learn it from the beginning. So I didn't get a chance to really learn what real estate embodied. At that time, I thought it was just talking to a couple of people, your friends and family, and the business would come to you, right? You advertise a little, you'll get the business. In the first couple of years, I didn't treat it like the business it should have, like I mentioned. So I think the struggles were putting the wrong ideas of what real estate was in my head till I started to be around people who I wanted to become like and learn from them, and then shape the qualities that would get me there. I was younger, like I said, too. So I would sometimes use that excuse. I would make excuses too. Like I wasn't as disciplined. I wasn't as focused as I am today. I tried multiple businesses too. I ran an Airbnb management company. I started a pharmacy. So my focus wasn't there all in real estate. So I think the other
Mm.
thing too is that, you gotta be focused in that one thing. And I heard that often too, like don't chase, that golden egg or whatever it is. Like focus in on one thing. It's going to take a long time. Understand that real estate has cycles is another thing. Take care of your operations and cash flow, hire when necessary, get in front of mentors like yourself, as well, and just learn as much as you can. And so I think in any business or in any field, whenever you start, you're going to come across the struggles, and it's those struggles that's going to push you and to endure and actually become better. As long as you see it as that, as a perspective, like you're going to fail multiple times in anything, right? Like the masters failed more times than the beginners tried, right? So I think it's one of those philosophies and those principles of just really understanding that there's going to be those struggles, there's going to be those failures, and it's how you can come out of that that's going to make the difference, more so than trying to avoid it. Although with mentorship and help, you can cut a couple of those years down, but you're really going to have to endure it, I would say, and just embrace it. Like you're going to make mistakes, things are going to happen. I tell my team this as well, that, what, don't worry, we're all going to be working together, and, just keep looking to grow and be better. And if you take that philosophy, I feel like you're going to get a lot further than the one that makes excuses and is not consistent and is not disciplined.
Absolutely. Just while we're on that, a little bit about my struggles as well. Each and every time. So I've been in real estate now 16 years, and 5 of those years were down years, meaning my production went backwards. And when your production goes up every single year, guys, you don't learn much. You don't learn much about yourself. You don't learn much about anything in real estate because the market's so good. So are you good, or is the market good? When my production went backwards, when I struggled, when I didn't do a deal for 6 months, that's when I learned big time how to be a great agent. So I'm glad that you brought that up. And guys, when you struggle, you are growing, and you just got to move past it. That's when you need the mentors and the coaches, the accountability partners, the mastermind members to be holding you up when you are down. And I think, Zach, you've built up such a great group around you. I believe your revenue share group is now up to around 80 people. Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, about 70,
Wow.
76 now. Yeah. So
That's amazing. That's amazing. So as such a young age, and how have you been able to attract this many people to work with you, alongside you?
yeah, you know what? It's a combination of a lot of things. Like I always say, it's just, being able to, one, understand EXP's model is huge, right? So understanding that, we're not just a regular brokerage, like there's a lot of benefits that you're not going to get elsewhere. And, I was always a firm believer of, multiple streams of income. And sometimes I also say this, it's easier to, convince another real estate agent that you can make more money than it is sometimes to go and sell a house. So, you know what, providing that opportunity, getting in front of the right people, building a system, having mentors like yourself, and, having even just this space here is what is lacking in a lot of the brokerages, right? So you can actually go a lot more global. And, with technology, you can reach out a lot better and get in front of the right people, influencers, mega teams, brokerages. It's like you said about, going up to that, mentor and being scared to have that conversation. But if you see an opportunity and you see that they can actually benefit in your model and structure, then why not give them that opportunity? It's actually a disservice for you not to, right? Because if you truly believe in it, you'd want to share it. And if you've done so well in it too, and actually it took me about a year or two before actually approaching agents, because I didn't want to be the one to just say it. I wanted to be able to go through it so I can speak true to it. So I think it's just really understanding it. And if you do well in it, you'll be able to share it with others, and naturally they'll gravitate towards you. I mean, I got to live a lot better of a lifestyle being at EXP. I have multiple income streams. I have a lot of fun with you guys. I have a team. I get to work alongside with people all over, the country. So it's really beneficial to myself, and, happy to share that knowledge alongside with anyone else. So it's a matter
Absolutely.
of just putting yourself in that position and attracting those right people, and they'll gravitate towards it because you're going to be doing things a lot more easier, a lot more freely. You're going to be able to be more knowledgeable. You'll be across different countries. So it's a great experience, and it's been quite the journey. And I wouldn't say that my real estate career would be the same without it. So I
Amazing.
naturally share that opportunity because it's helped me so much.
It's amazing testimony. And I do want to touch on this. You do such a great job supporting your group, and you support me as well. Little do you know, like it goes both ways. You reach up a lot when you need support, and every agent, whoever needs support, reach up. Right? Don't keep it within you, especially in a changing market like this. Don't hide. Don't be embarrassed. Reach up. I do want to talk about reaching down, because reaching down to pull someone up has made me a better human being faster, and it made me become a better teacher and a coach. How has that changed your business by creating a team and helping others?
Yeah, you know what? One, it's always great to help out. I've been blessed and fortunate to be in the position where I'm at today. So I love to give that opportunity to anyone else. So it also gives you a better perspective on yourself as a leader, yourself on the industry, because you get to teach and mentor newer agents. And so in the beginning you may not have had that opportunity because you may not have known enough, but now fortunately I can have those conversations. And now that I've been getting messaged a lot more, you just naturally got to be put in that position, and then you really can work on a new skill set and level, right? So if you were to ask me in the beginning of my career, would I be sitting here today and doing all this stuff? It would have been a no, right? So it's more so that you also get pulled up, like just as much as you're saying that I'm pulling up this next group, you yourself has been pulling me to become this as well. So it's a natural, I think, cycle. And the ones that will gravitate towards that will want to get pulled up, and they just need that extra boost, or they just need that reassurance, or they need that accountability, and for you to hold that, right? Like it's very easy for someone to go on a a motivational trip or whatever it is and be excited for a couple weeks or two, but to do it for 3 months out or 3 years out, or yourself 14 years in, is another thing. So to hold that level of accountability and to have that structure is so beneficial to me. And I love to share that because I want to embody that and be able to bring the next generation like that, who's around me, up like that, just the way that I've been up to that level. So
I love it. I love it. And thank you. Thank you for your support as always. And we encourage each other. It's not, again, it just doesn't go one ways. By the way, it's 17 years now. I'm in my 17th year. I'm getting old.
Still looking the same. You're still looking the same though.
Thank you. Thank you.
Young
I want to talk to you about your why. We always get, like I said, burnt out, but when you're passionate about the business, passionate about what you do and why you do it, it can move you forward. It can give you endless energy. So Zach, what's your why?
Yeah, I believe that your why will always change. I would say, I think in the beginning it was to create like a financially free life for myself and help my family. I think originally it stemmed from that, and now it's got into where, how do I leave a mark in this industry, right? Like, how can I really leave an imprint and help others alongside of that? So I think every day it changes. If I can bring my core values and help other people strive for that, I think that's more of a why, more so. And, I've been in the real estate industry for a long time. In the beginning, it was, how can I help families transition? I also felt real estate and some agents actually was not as ethical or maybe as in integrity sometimes. Like I would hear stories before getting into real estate. So I didn't want to be that type of agent or have that stigma with it. So I wanted to lead by that example.
Right.
And then it built into, okay, so now, how can I be better each day? How can I evolve in real estate and just get better? I would say, I think each day I kind of wake up and I think, if I'm not fully utilizing my potential, I feel like it would go to waste. So I think striving for that excellence and being around the right people, naturally you'll formulate a strong why. And to me, it's just to be the best in whatever I do, right?
That's
I think
awesome.
if you just aim for that, it'll naturally pull out all the things that you need. So I think my strongest why is just making sure that I can say at the end of it, when it's all said and done, that I gave it my all and brought the right people around, supported them, given back to charities or anyone else around me, and hopefully led by example, not just sitting up here and talking it, actually going through it with my actions, so that I can hopefully leave that legacy. Or, if you can help one person change their career path or get them on the next set, you don't know that ripple effect. So I think just seeing how one person can actually make a difference, if you can help instill that in someone, it's just a blessing. So I think that would be my strongest why, is just making sure that, you can say with no regrets that, you gave it your all and helped a lot of people in that process.
Absolutely. You can't, you can't change the world in one sitting, but you can change yourself today. And I've seen that in you, is that you're not trying to change the world, but you're trying to improve yourself 1% every single day. And I've seen that for the last few years. It's amazing to see. So congratulations on that. And a lot of young agents watching, they'll be very inspired. Guys, reach out to Zach or reach out to myself if you guys need the support. Don't hide. Reach out when you need. Good stuff, my man. In the next 5 to 10 years, what do you see for yourself in your real estate business?
Yeah, now, more so looking to expand. So kind of grow out of, just Vancouver and be a little bit more global, I would say. I think EXP has helped me with that. So I think now it's how can I help more people on a larger scale? I think scaling up your business is what in the next 5 years I would aim towards. I want to be able to have a stronger team, more seasoned team, as well as, help my revenue share line with EXP. I want to share what EXP has done for me and grow that out so that, they can also have the same flexibility, same, type of style, go more global, be able to help a lot more agents. So in the next 5 years, I see, more on the production side of things across cities and working with more referral partners and different branches and just kind of growing out from there. I don't see myself leaving the real estate sphere. I think I'll catch you on that 17 years. So I think it's just more so just being more efficient, being better, innovate in the space that we have. I've seen real estate grow to more of an innovative tech-based company, and that's why EXP's helped that. So I think just pushing that envelope and being able to inspire a younger generation, and hopefully being able to sit at a position where you're at, when I get a little bit older there, hopefully looking still young like you, but be able to kind of sit there and bring up the next generation is where I would hope to see myself in the next 10 years.
I love that. I love that. It's all about contribution at this point. And I think with EXP, we think a lot more about contribution and collaboration versus elsewhere. So I do want to talk before we go here about FOMO, because, when I first met you, I'll just say this, like, I don't mean to throw you on the bus, but you had FOMO for everything, and everything was kind of like a shiny object. Oh, should I do this, John? Should I do that, John? How did you get focused?
Yeah, you know what? You really got to look at what you do daily, right? And you got to see that, you can be, the jack of all trades or the master of something. And I felt that, if I really took on real estate on for what it was, I can really get to that level. And being around you guys helped me narrow that down, and also being in the environment of EXP, because I technically could do a lot of those different things in EXP. So to me, it was that sometimes a few tasks would get redundant or I wasn't as excited, and I would look for other avenues. But now, joining into this brokerage, I was allowed to, if I want to focus on, building a separate business, it would be within real estate. So everything was in that umbrella. So to me, it was like I was still doing that, but it was focused in real estate. So I think narrowing in and understanding on what you want to get towards and work on. So, I would write down my goals, when we were doing the 5 a.m. Club every day, we'd write down our goals, we'd read the affirmations, we do our meditation, all of that stuff helps, and it gets you more focused. And I'm a huge believer in what you do every day is what you're going to become, right? So if you do that every single day and you start really narrowing down what you want to get to, you're going to be focused. It'd be very hard to accomplish all the things. You can either, you can be anything, but you have to focus down on a few things to be excellent in those fields. So I think it's just know what you want, focus on those things, don't give up early, and know it's going to be a long ride. But, like I always say, is that, it's not in pursuit of, the success or the money or any of that stuff. It's the person that you become in pursuit of those things. So if you chase that, it's going to propel you to become better. And so it's never going to be the destination. You're always going to be chasing a better version of yourself. But in turn, you're going to keep learning. You're going to acquire the skill set to be in that top 1%. And I think once that tweaked in my mind of that, you know what, don't chase the end goal and become better. And a lot of people forget, you know, the second word of human beings is the beingness, right? So if you can be a certain way and you embody that daily, in turn, you're gonna have to be that person, right? So it's just a matter of focusing in on those daily tasks and making sure that that's the lifestyle that you want and that you're working towards. Because people are gonna get their needs, not their wants, right? And if you need to be a certain way and you need to get to a certain level, you're gonna get that, because there's gonna be so many wants. And like, I wanted everything, right? Like, I wanted to do everything. But, you know, it was really when I was focused on, you know what, I need to do these things, that's when a lot of the stuff changed. And that's where it really tweaked in my mind, so that I could focus in on that and be those things first. And then whenever you want, you can go back and revisit some extra stuff that you enjoy, but really focus in on a couple things that you really want to dive full into. And I think that's gonna translate to a lot of success in whatever field you're in.
Awesome, man. Be laser focused. Bruce Lee said, I fear the man. I don't fear the man who practices 1,000 different kicks. I fear the man who practices one kick 1,000 times. And I can see that in you, laser focused right now. Zach, what is one piece of advice that you can leave the audience today to have them move forward in 2022?
Yeah, you know what? I'll give a few actually. One is going to be always be learning and evolving. I think if you follow a structured routine is key. I think that really helped me translate to the business that I'm talking about today, is follow that routine, set it up, right? Like, it's all the success and everything comes, it's not by accident. It's really planned out. You know, like you said, reach out to, you know, mentors, friends. Real estate can get lonely. Sometimes, you know, there may not be as much business that, you know, you may feel left alone. So reach out to myself or John for that support. You know, it can save a lot of years that, you know, we might have wasted or made mistakes on, that would help translate to you guys. And I mean, be disciplined, be consistent, know what generates business, right? And be an expert in your field. Learn real estate so that when you go out there in the field, that you're that knowledgeable expert. And great things take time, right? And if you work hard on it, you'll amaze yourself on what you can actually accomplish. And when you implement those things, you'll actually get to see the results. So I think it's just doing a combination of all of those is going to get the results. And sometimes you're missing a few of those things. And like you said, that's where the mentor and, you know, ourselves kind of step in and say, hey, look, you know, maybe look at it from this angle or have this perspective. And just that certain tweak can really propel your business. So if I were to give advice, it's to, you know, be consistent, have the routine, reach out, and, you know, be the best version of yourself daily. Wake up at 4 a.m., I guess, too.
It's all about the journey, not the destination. Follow Zach on social media, guys. He works in Vancouver. If you have any referrals, please give him a call. Amazing job. Thank you so much, Zach. We'll see you all next week. Make it a great day.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, John. Take care.